some of my songs I have casually mentioned the fact that I like to drink beer. This little song is more to the point.
Today's date, October 23rd, 1983. This is Mike's first time to run Mr. Sluggo by himself, and he is no doubt scared shitless.
And sometimes it makes me feel mellow.
Makes him feel mellow.
Whiskey's too rough, champagne costs too much, vodka puts my...
We were getting hammered down at the bottom, and he was coming back down the hill for something. He was hammered too, and he run it right off the side of the hill. And we didn't know what happened. We were down at the bottom. We heard him honking. So we all run up the side of the hill. And Susie comes down, flipped all the way on the passenger side of the dewey as it's hanging off the hill. And there's Mike, still holding his beer.
Whiskey's too rough, champagne costs too much, vodka puts my mouth in gear. While this little refrain should help me explain, as a matter of fact, I like beer.
He likes beer.
Last night I dreamed that I passed from the scene, and I went to a place so sublime. All the water was clear.
We had a pep rally at KHS. He had donated a car from Car City. And in fact, I think it was at Car City that the pep rally was held. And it was demolish a car for $1. And you get a sledgehammer swing to destroy the car for $1. And I didn't know anyone. I just moved there after a couple months. And all these people were there, and my Uncle Mike had seen everyone there, and he looked at me and he said, you know, you need to be seen, Kurt. You need to let people know that you're here. And that's the way Uncle Mike was. And, you know, people had to notice you. And so he told me, take this knife and go slash those tires, and people will love it. So I think I took his knife and probably took the blade of the knife and tried to slice the tires with the blade of the knife, and of course it didn't work, thick rubber. And I took the knife back to him. I was like, Uncle Mike, it didn't work. And he looked at me, he's like, oh, God damn it. And so he took that knife and he went up there and stabbed that tire with the knife, and I think it scared him. The tire blew up and bang! Everyone went, woo! And he came back to me and looked at me dead square in the eyes, like, see?
Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry.
I came in, this was the day that he decided while Nellie was gone that he would unroll about 150 firecrackers, which he did, and then lights it with a match and blows his face off. When he came in, his eyelashes were all burnt down in his face down here. He had no hair up here. And he said, you think you can give me $1.25? I said, where do you think I'd get $1.25? He said, well, if I can get a haircut, I don't think Mother will notice.
Mr. Brumby is a gambler. I was fortunate enough to go to Vegas with some very good friends of mine, Mike and Susie. If you've ever been to Vegas with Mike, you don't walk through a casino, you move. Mike Brumbalow moves. Big Daddy Diamond Bill. When we went to Mexico, we went down there dove hunting. And anyway, they had this one song, and this guy kept playing it over and over, and he was a Spanish type, so we didn't know what it was. But I got to watching him, and he kept playing the same thing, and I went over there and played the same thing, and when I played it, he just screamed to the top of his lungs. He just started going, "Ay, ay, ay!" Well, he thought it was great. I thought it was great too.
Like falling rain, you'll toss around and call my name.
And we'd stayed up pretty long the night before, and of course Mike was right there with us, so it made it okay. But he was up before us and down there working, and then we had to come down there and work it off too. And I climbed up in a tree and had some conduit to run and some light to hang. I get up in the same sweat's in my eyes. I'm all messed up. And I'm like, Mike, I was like, I think there's ants up here. And he's like, man, there's no ants up there. Just hang the light. So I'm starting to hang it, and they're tearing me up. They're just biting me all over the place. And I was like, I didn't want to wimp out. So I was like, I'll show this cowboy, like I can hang with him. And so I come down, and I'm take off my shirt and like loosening my pants and like trying to get them all off me. And I've got whelps all over me. And he was like, huh, well, I guess there was ants in the tree. And once again, he started that little laugh and walked off. And I'm like, yeah, there were ants, Mike.
The time will come.
There, and his dad stops me and goes, "What are you drinking?" And I said, "I drink gin. I bought a bottle of gin." Mike, true Texas form, says, "Let me make you your first drink." And I said, "Thank you." I go to hand Michael that bottle. And the minute I let go, so does Mike. Boom. A bottle of Bombay Sapphire Gin is in our feet. Glass everywhere, alcohol on his boots, alcohol on my tennis shoes. Eyeball to eyeball. Mike goes, "So now what are you drinking?" I looked at Mike and said, "Whatever you are serving."
When I start making love, I don't just make love, I be stroking. That's what I be doing. I be stroking. I stroke it to the east, and I stroke it to the west. I stroke it to the...
At the ranch or at the car lot, I just thought he was such a great guy, and in the few minutes that you get to spend with him, he always finds a way to put you down and bring you back up and have you laughing the entire time. So I think it's what we all miss.
I am a sucker and will fall for anything that Mike Brumbalow is going to say to me. So here are my two jokes that Mike Brumbalow told me that evening that I still tell to this day and hysterically make me laugh. So joke number one is, sandwich walks into a bar. Bartender says, "I'm sorry, we don't serve food." Like, how can you not laugh? Okay, joke number two, grasshopper walks into a bar. Bartender says, "We got a drink named after you." He goes, "Really? You got a drink named Steve?"
He taught me respect for everyone. He wasn't the myth, the legend. He was the man. And he always will be. But I know he's always going to be around me and watching over everybody. He was an amazing man, an amazing person, an amazing friend.
As he told my sister Jennifer, she loved chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. And he said, "Well, you know how they make those chicken McNuggets, don't you? The Hamburglar takes the chicken and he goes, chicken, and he makes little nuggets out of it." And the look on her face, it was so cute.
I remember Mike Brumbalow playing Jimi Hendrix really loud in the morning to wake us all up to start cleaning.
This is the greatest party that I've ever seen anybody do, and especially because it's mine. And guys, it's so nice to see a lot of you because I hadn't seen you for so long. And it's a good feeling. and I'll do something for you as though you did for me, I promise. Thank y'all very much.
I love you, Mike Brumbalow. I'm going to miss you, man.
We're going to miss you, Mike. Love you, man. It was great knowing you. I look forward to arm wrestling you in heaven.
Godspeed, Mike. Godspeed.
Cheers, my friend. You will be missed.
And the only thing I have left to say is, come on, good feeling.
Here's one for you.